Hello, welcome back to the Another Way Forum. Arsenal versus Manchester United Premier League preview. Manchester United travel to the Emirates Stadium on the 4th of December at 8:15 p.m. So a later kick-off time than usual. Usually be 8 o'clock, But look, it's a big one. It's a big one against Arsenal, who are looking to, keep their title hopes alive. They're second in the Premier League with 25 points, 9 points behind Liverpool. With a goal difference of 12. And we are ninth in the Premier League with 19 points, and a win could push us 7th or 6th place, depending on how the Brentford, Tottenham and Nottingham Forest deal. And again, obviously, we have to get a win as well. Look, this is going to be a very, very interesting game. As you can see beside me, there will be a live watch along from 8 p.m. on Wednesday, 15 minutes before kickoff, team news, all that good stuff we'll be talking about. But yeah, this is a big one. This is going to be a tough one. And look, I can't wait for it. But before we get stuck in, please like the video, comment your expectations, predictions for the upcoming game against Arsenal. Do subscribe and do join us for the watch along on Wednesday. So now we start with the form. We beat PAOK 2-0, we beat Leicester 3-0, we drew 1-1 against Ipswich, we beat Bodo Glimt 3-2, and we beat Everton 4-0 just yesterday, because it's been recorded on Monday. We played Everton yesterday. So in our last 5 games, we have 4 wins, 1 draw, and 0 losses. So we haven't lost in our last 5 games, which is brilliant, I suppose. I can't remember the last time we actually went 5 games unbeaten, I'll be honest. I know the PAOK and Leicester game were underruled, but the Ipswich game was Amorim, and obviously Bodo Glimt and Everton as well, obviously. But look, I'll be honest with you, I actually can't wait for this game. I actually can't, to be honest with you. I have no nerves going into it. I don't really have nerves going into games anymore because, especially when you have Ruben at the helm as well, it makes things all the better. But again, I will go through a bit of Manchester United team news just before we talk a bit about Manchester United. Again, obviously, unfortunately, Lisandro Martinez and Kobe Mainoo, who both picked up a yellow last game out, will be out for this game, which is a bit of a shame, but unfortunately we have to go on with it. Obviously, Maguire's back. He came on in the latter stages of the Everton game, but it may look like Evans, Lindelof and maybe Yoro will be out. He wasn't picked to be in the squad for Sunday's game, but supposedly but then there was Eriksen. Supposedly there was no injuries there, he just weren't picked. And obviously Bruno came off. He had a bit of an ice pack around his ankle, but I wouldn't worry too much about that, to be honest with you. He probably just ran the legs off himself, as he always does. But yeah, like we said, and like I'm gonna say, and like the title says on the video, it's Amorim's first test. It's a big test as Manchester United manager. It's his first test as Manchester United manager to make things sound a bit better and clearer. Can he do it? You look at Arsenal, who are 3 or 4 years with Mikel Arteta. Ruben is not even 3 weeks Manchester United manager. We're seeing positives. We are seeing positives. In the last 3. To be honest, we are seeing positives. So I think the last 2 games you've seen a lot more positives than we did against Ipswich. But again, it's sort of in the stage now where you're in the Christmas time, so there's games twice a week. So again, that'll be probably like that all the way up until Christmas time or the New Year. But again, that's the joys of being in Europe, and that's the joys of a busy period. Look, we can't complain as football fans. I'm sure the players would love the time off, but look, it is Amorim's first test, like we said. I was kind of going on a bit of a tangent there. Arsenal played his Sporting side in the Champions League last week, and I think they beat them 4 or 5-1. Let me have a look at their form. Yeah, 5-1 was the scoreline there. But I wasn't Ruben. It was Ruben's players, but I wasn't Ruben. So would have been a different conversation if it was Ruben Amorim as sport manager. Maybe not. But again, look at this Manchester United team. Is there pressure? I think there's more pressure on Arsenal than us, I'll be honest. But again, some would say there's pressure on us as well to push up the table. But I don't, look, if we lost this game, right, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, it wouldn't bother me. Obviously, you want to beat Arsenal at the Emirates, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. And there's going to be ups and downs with Amorim as much as not a manager. This, we're in this sort of, I don't know what we say, process or whatever you want to call it, that you're going to get ups and you're going to get your downs. They are going to happen. They are eventually going to happen. But that's sort of where we have to, I don't know, get behind the players, get behind Ruben especially, and let's keep it going, because, like I said, we are seeing positives. We wanted a manager to come in that has a system of style of play. He has exactly that. And, let's just keep backing him, because I don't want to see another manager gone, especially now Ruben Amorim. I can't deal with it. I really, really can't. Well, I think we're lucky to have him, I'll be honest. I really think we're lucky to have Ruben Amorim. He could have told us to F off when we came in, when we sacked Ten Hag. He could have said, "No, you're grand. I'm going to say a sport for the summer until at least the summer. Then, talk to be dead." And we weren't willing to do that. But I look at Ruben's tactics coming into this game against Manchester City with Sporting. It was sort of like they went with it was obviously a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1, but they dropped back into a 5. So whoever was on the left and the right were dropping back, and then that was a 5. And then if you play Bruno behind the striker, Bruno can drop back into the midfield. So it'd probably go with what, a 5-4, a 5 would it be? No, would it a 5-3-2 maybe, or maybe a 5-4-1? Because if you're playing Rashford, he could drop back as well, and Bruno as well, and then it depends what happens there. So it could be a 5-4-1, if I'm correct. Yeah, because if I don't want to spoil me predict 11 yet, but you have, so say you had Dallo and Ahmad, they drop back. Bruno can drop back. Rashford can drop back. Rasmus can stay up top. Yeah, so you get 5-4-1. Is what we'll probably see when Arsenal have possession of the ball. And look at, if Martinez wasn't out, would there be a shout for? Would there have been a shout for playing Shaw left wing back, Dallo right wing back, and then I don't know, Ahmad, Bruno, and Rasmus up top? Could there have been a shout for that? Or would he have still went with a similar team that we've seen in recent games under him so far? Maybe not. But I think we'll see us be a 5 at the back a lot more, because you are playing an Arsenal team. They are better than us at this moment in time. They're 2 or 3 years ahead of us anyways. So we just sort of have to, I don't know, we're going to have to defend a lot. Arsenal probably have a lot more of the ball, but this would be an interesting one as well. Look, it's not going to, if we lose this game by 2 or 3 goals or whatever, I'm not going to say, oh, Ruben, what does this mean now for the future? It's not going to have anything. If we win, I'll get a point. Brilliant. Lovely. I'll take a point right here, right now. I'd shake your hand for a point. I'm not the drink type, the number type. Maybe a point would be good. 3 points would be brilliant. It'd be brilliant. But you never know. Well, look, I'm not going to be negative. We're in the festive sort of mood. As you can tell. So I'm not going to ruin that. But we will see a lot of 5 at the back, and then in transition when we go forwards, that'll be interesting to see. And that's one reason why I think Rashford will start this game for his pace, ball over the top. And he scored 2 goals against Everton, so hopefully that does confidence the world of good for this game and upcoming games as well. Another lad I really want to talk about, though, is Ahmad. Look. Give Rashford and Xerxes your praise for the game against Everton. Give them the praise. They deserve the praise, right? This man got my man of the match. He got most people's man of the match. He's getting most people's man of the matches after most games. Why Ten Hag didn't play him a lot, we'll never know. We'll never know. He's having a brilliant season. He doesn't give up with the ball. He gets stuck in. And that's... I honestly think him and Mazraoui have been so good for us this season. You could throw Ugarte in there as well, by the way. I think they both of them have been... Ahmad, he's been brilliant so far this season. What I like about him is he fights for the badge. He plays for the badge. I feel like he's just like one of us. He gets stuck in, puts his head down, and doesn't give up. He just doesn't give up chasing that ball. And when he has the ball, he doesn't fail to disappoint when he has it. He really, really doesn't. And I'm glad Amorim is playing him week in, week out. Because I'll be very surprised if he's not in Amorim's. When Amorim eventually finds his start at 11. Because at the moment, he's sort of, testing a few things out here and there. Which you won't get away with all the time, rotating on a Thursday and playing on then rotating on a Sunday. You won't. But when he finds his start at 11, Ahmad has to be in there. He plays playing on the right wing back, whatever we want to call it. Brilliant. I love it. I really do love it. I'm a big fan of it. And yeah, it's going to be against Everton, like I said, he got my man of the match. And he deserves his praise. He deserves his props. He deserves his flowers or roses. He deserves it all. And hopefully he can keep it up for the rest of the season. But again, it's going to be a very, very tough game on Wednesday. It really, really is. But again, there's going to be ups and downs. If you lose this game, don't get hot and bothered. Or you can be a bit upset, but don't get hot and bothered. It's the joys of, it's the joys of, would you say process? It's the joys of the process or the rebuild or whatever you want to call it. It's the joys of it. It's going to happen. Every team goes through it. The team that were playing on Wednesday have went through it. And now they're fighting for the title, which they probably won't get, but they're still fighting for it. So let's just see what happens there. But speaking of Arsenal, here is their form in the last five games. Let's just have a look. So let's just have a look at a bit of team news. Supposedly Marino was out. Partey is out. I don't think so because I swore I seen them play. Or maybe not. So Ben White, Tomiyasu, Kivior. I think that's Arsenal's team news. He weren't available, but again, I swore I seen a few of them play West Ham on the weekend. But anyways, Arsenal coming into this game, scoring 3 goals or more in the last 3. But as you can see, Inter Milan beat them 1-0. They drew 1-1 against Chelsea. They beat Nottingham Forest 3-0. They beat Sporting 5-1. And they beat West Ham 5-2. So in the last 5, they have 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. Look at they scored 5 goals. They scored, truthfully speaking, in the past 2 games, they scored 10 goals in the last 2 games. Not 10 goals in 1 game, but you get what I mean. 5 goals Arsenal, 5 goals Sporting, 5 goals against West Ham, 10 goals scored in their last 2 games. They're not doing too bad. They look like they're starting to build a bit of form again. Because you sort of went through a bit of a sticky patch. And I find that when we even play Arsenal at the Emirates, especially over the last 2 years especially, I know it was with Ten Hag and that. Last season, look, we should have beaten them at Emirates. Garnacho's goal was onside. I don't give a shit what anyone says. But they never seem to hammer us. Like even last season, when they beat us 1-0 at Old Trafford, when they were sort of fighting for a title with Man City, they beat us 1-0, but there was never any sort of. They never really hammer us. Touch wood, they don't do that on Wednesday, but they never seem to run away with it all. And look, do I fancy you to beat? Look, I think there's a chance we can beat them. I really, really do. I mean, look at that danger man. Look, it's not like they have we have Declan Rice who does well in the midfield. Odegaard who's back. They've definitely been missing him because ever since he's returned to the team, they've been known before on all cylinders. You look at Saka, Trossard, Martinelli, Havertz, You know, they have Timber, two-man mountain defenders in Gabriel and Saliba. I mean, look, they have a lot. They have a good team. They really do have a good team. But I look at their danger man, and I think it's Saka. I really, really do. I really think he's the danger man. But Odegaard as well. I think if you take Odegaard out of this Arsenal team, Arsenal struggle. So maybe I may go Odegaard. Well, it's between Odegaard and Saka. Arsenal need a win if they want to keep their title hopes alive, because Liverpool are running away with it. They're 9 points ahead behind Liverpool at the moment. I think if we were to get a point, I think if Arsenal were to draw or lose this game, it'd cost them big time. But again, it really, really is going to be interesting to see how this Arsenal team how they'll face against Ruben Amorim. Because look, we're better than West Ham. We're better than West Ham. We're better than Forest, I think, anyways. Sporting, I mean, look, they're doing well. But look, we haven't played them yet, so I can't tell you. But you know, it should be an interesting. It really, really should be an interesting game. But look, Odegaard. I always say if you can keep Odegaard or Saka quiet, I think Arsenal will struggle. I really, really do. It was like when you had De Bruyne and Haaland. If you could keep, it was like if you keep De Bruyne quiet, Haaland can't score goals. De Bruyne is out of the team, and Rodri and Man City are struggling like shit. I mean, that's just how it is. But look, they do need a win. It's not going to be an easy game for both. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for both teams. I really, really don't think it's going to be an easy game for either side. I really, really don't. But look, I'm going to start off with me predicted 11. We're into predictions time. So here's me predicted 11 for the game against Arsenal. I went on it in goals. A back three of Luke Shaw, Dele and Mazraoui. It's a shame you haven't seen Euro play a few minutes yet. Because I'm sure if he was available for the game against Ipswich, maybe he could have started against Arsenal, or at least got 45, 60 minutes under his belt. Maybe that could have been the case. But Luke Shaw can't play centre back. I play him there. Maguire's obviously back, but I wouldn't. There's no pace there. There's no point playing two-man mountains in a back three because then you're lacking pace. So I'd go Luke Shaw, Dele and Mazraoui. I'd definitely go with that. I know some people would say, so you're playing two full-backs in the back three and a centre-back. Luke Shaw can play centre-back. We've seen him play there before with England, under Ten Hag, and even Ruben Amorim. So he knows how to play the back three. So does Mazraoui. Obviously, Dele, it's his natural position. And then on the left, we're going to go Dalot. On the right, it has to be Ahmad. Ugarte and Casemiro in the midfield. I was debating on maybe dropping Bruno into where Casemiro was, then play Garnacho and Rashford and Højlund, or maybe Mason Mount, Rashford and Højlund. Again, that could well be it, but I think Casemiro should sit back. Don't get forwards. I know Ruben likes his team to press, but against an Arsenal team, Ruben's getting to grips with the players are getting grips to him and his system. You don't have to press a whole lot. So Casemiro, just sit back in front of that defence and let Dalot do the work, Ugarte do the work, and Ahmad do the work there. And then, maybe if Casemiro drops back, you may see Bruno drop back into a bit of a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a 5 somewhere, especially in the defence. Ahmad, I mean, look, he deserves his props. He has to play. I don't care what anyone says. I think everyone would agree with me there. Then I'm going to go Bruno, Rashford and Rasmus to come back into the starting 11. Look, you could say Bruno, Mount, Rasmus. You could see Xerxes play. You could see Garnacho play. But this would be my team. I think we do have to pick two defensive midfielders. But, I mean, if Manu was available, I probably would have said Ugarte and Manu because he have a bit of pace about them. Casemiro doesn't really have legs, but he has experience and he just has to sit back. Don't run forwards. Ruben knows what the plan is. He has a plan. But I guarantee, just sit back. Can this team get something at the Emirates? I think so. I think so. Will it? I hope so. Look, I'm going to throw my score prediction up. I'm not predicting us to lose, but I think we will lose. I don't know why. A part of me, I can't see us losing. I just can't. But in a way, I sort of can. It's one of them sort of things. It'd be interesting to see. But this would be my team. And this is the joys of... This is what we want. We want to be saying, oh, maybe he could play and he could come out, or maybe he could play there, or maybe he could play there. You just don't know. You just don't know. But if this is the team that Ruben Amorim picked for the game against Arsenal on Wednesday, I'd be happy enough with that. Anything else, it'd probably be an interesting one. I think if anything, he could drop Bruno back where Casemiro wasn't then playing Mount, Rashford and Haaland. Have more midfielders on the pitch to defend. That may be it, but I don't think so. But look, I could be wrong. But in terms of score prediction, I didn't predict the Leos. I can't. I don't think I can predict the Leos. I just can't do it. I can't. I'm useless at it. I'm useless at predicting Manchester United to lose games. I'm useless at it. I'm biased. I'll admit it. I'm going to go 2-2. Here's what I can see happening, right? I can see us going ahead. I can see Rashford scoring the first goal. Counter attack. Arsenal dominating us like fuck. But Rashford goes forwards. Back it in it. Arsenal score a penalty. Saka takes it. Luke Shaw gets the yellow. What you doing, Shaw? Why'd you make that challenge for? There was no need for it. Dela had us covered. And Anna could have saved it. Arsenal go ahead. Who scores? Declan Rice. Then someone who doesn't really score goals scores goals. Ugarte. That's what I think. But let's see. I could be wrong. I probably look like a clown there, didn't I? Oh well. A clown with a Santi hat on. Why not? But okay, I thought I'd make it a bit of an enjoyable preview. I hope you all enjoyed the preview. Please do like the video. Comment your predictions for this game. Let us know what you think of what I was speaking about and my predictions again. Again, I have a feeling we may lose, but I'm biased. Sorry. Do subscribe. Be much appreciated. Do join us for the watch along on Wednesday from 8 p.m, 15 minutes before kickoff. Let's see what Ruben can pick. Let's see Ruben's Reds beat Arteta's Trophy Dodgers. That's Tottenham. But anyways, see you all on Wednesday for the watch along. Do like the video, comment, subscribe, and I'll speak to you all on Wednesday. Come on, United. Come on, the boys. Fucking beat you. Come on. Speak to you all next in Reds. Thanks for watching.